Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into the fitness world, which, let's be honest, can be super noisy, filled with trends, complicated advice.
Totally. It's overwhelming sometimes.
Exactly. So if you've ever felt like building muscle or losing fat was just this confusing puzzle, you're bouncing between different plans all the time, you're going to want to stick around. What if getting stronger and leaner wasn't about crazy extremes, but just understanding some core ideas?
Uh-huh. Some science-backed fundamentals.
Yeah. We're getting into Michael Matthews' big book, Bigger, Leaner, Stronger.
Right? And Bigger, Leaner, Stronger.
Yeah.
Came out in 2012, which was kind of a turning point.
Oh, so.
Well, people are starting to get tired of the fad diets, the miracle workout DVDs,
Yeah.
all that stuff. There was a real hunger for advice that actually worked based on evidence.
Okay.
And social media was exploding, right? So information was everywhere, but so was misinformation.
Mm-hmm.
Matthews kind of stepped into that gap.
And who is Matthews? What's his background?
He studied at UC Santa Barbara, so he has this research background, this critical thinking approach. He wasn't just repeating stuff, he looked at the science. And crucially, he applied it to himself. He transformed his own body using these principles.
Ah, so he walked the walk.
He really did, and his whole style is very direct. No fluff, no hype, just here's what works based on the science. The book's goal is super clear. Give guys the knowledge, the tools to build muscle, lose fat, get stronger, sustainably.
Sustainably. That's the key word.
Definitely. It's about debunking myths and giving you a clear path that you can actually stick with long term.
Which is so needed, right? In this sea of quick fixes and conflicting advice. So our mission today, for you listening, is basically to give you a shortcut. A way to understand what really drives effective, sustainable fitness so you can stop the guesswork.
Yeah, cut through the noise.
Okay, let's unpack this. Matthews has this central idea, this thesis. You said it's powerful in its simplicity. What's he really arguing against? What's the noise he's cutting through?
Great question. He's simplifying the whole idea that getting lean and muscular is some secret art, or that you need to suffer like crazy. He's cutting through the noise of, the next magic pill, the overnight transformation promised by some celebrity trainer.
Right, the stuff that never lasts.
Exactly. Because look, it's not about trends. It's about consistently applying a few core principles. Diet, exercise, lifestyle. That's it.
And what are those core principles? The bedrock.
It really boils down to progressive overload, focusing on compound exercises, and getting your nutrition right. Nail those consistently, he argues, and you're like 90% of the way there.
Okay, so let's break those down. He structures them as pillars, right? Let's start with the training side. Progressive overload. Sounds kind of technical.
It sounds technical, but the concept is simple. It's the absolute law of muscle growth. You have to gradually increase the demand on your muscles over time.
Meaning
Meaning you got to lift heavier weight or do more reps with the same weight or maybe more sets or even shorten your rest times. Something has to get harder over time.
So your muscles are forced to adapt.
Precisely. If you just lift the same weight for the same reps forever, your body's like, okay, I got this. No need to change. Progressive overload is the signal that tells your muscles, hey, you need to get bigger and stronger to handle this. Matthews details ways to do this, like adding a tiny bit of weight each week or aiming for one more rep.
Okay, that makes sense. Challenge equals change. What about the type of exercises? He's big on compound exercises, right? Squats, deadlifts, bench press.
Oh, yeah. The big three plus things like overhead presses, rows. He champions these because they're incredibly efficient.
Efficient how?
They work multiple joints and multiple large muscle groups all at the same time. Think about a squat. Quads, glutes, hamstrings, core, boom, all working together.
Compared to like a bicep curl.
Exactly. A bicep curl hits, well, your bicep. Compound lifts give you way more bang for your buck. They stimulate more muscle overall, trigger a better hormonal response for growth, and build functional strength faster. It's about maximizing your effort.
Got it. Work smarter, not just harder, with those big lifts. Okay, so you nailed the training. But Matthews says a lot happens outside the gym too, right? In the kitchen.
Huge part of it.
Yeah.
It starts with caloric balance. This is like rule number one for changing your body composition.
Calories in versus calories out.
Yep. He teaches you how to estimate your TDEE, total daily energy expenditure, basically how many calories you burn each day. Want to lose fat? Eat a bit less than that consistently. A deficit?
And to build muscle?
Eat a bit more. A controlled surplus? It's not about random guessing. It's about knowing your numbers and making deliberate adjustments. Takes the mystery out of it.
Okay, so you figure out the calories. Then it's about what those calories are, isn't it? The macronutrient ratios. Protein, carbs, fats.
Exactly. And here he gets pretty specific, which is super helpful. He's famous for advocating high protein, usually around zero point 0.8 to 1 gram per pound of lean body mass.
Why so much protein?
It's vital for repairing and building muscle tissue after you train. That's muscle protein synthesis. Plus, it helps you feel full, which is really important if you're trying to lose fat and eating fewer calories.
Makes sense. And carbs and fats.
He guides you on balancing those around your protein intake, tailoring it based on how active you are, whether it's a training day or rest day, maybe more carbs on workout days for energy, ensuring enough healthy fats for hormones. It's a structured approach, way beyond just eat healthy.
Yeah, much more concrete. Matthews also talks about mindset, doesn't he? This idea of consistency over perfection.
Oh, this is huge. It's not just a nice saying for him. He basically argues that imperfect action done consistently beats perfect action done sporadically.
Meaning, don't quit if you mess up once.
Exactly. So many people have this all-or-nothing mindset. They miss one workout, eat one bad meal, and think, well, I blew it, and just give up.
I've definitely been there.
We all have. Matthews emphasizes building a system that can handle life. You're going to miss a session sometimes. You're going to go out for pizza. It's okay. The key is to just get back on track with the next workout, the next meal. Progress isn't perfectly linear. Accepting that makes it a sustainable, lifelong thing.
That's a really powerful shift. What about the things people often neglect, like rest and recovery, or that mind-muscle connection thing?
Super important. He's very clear. Muscles grow when you're recovering, not when you're training. Training provides the stimulus. So rest and recovery are non-negotiable.
Meaning sleep?
Yep, aiming for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. And planned rest days. Your body needs time to repair and adapt. Overtraining just leads to burnout and plateaus. He also mentions active recovery, like light walks, can help.
And the mind-muscle connection, is that real?
Totally real, and not some weird mystical thing. It just means consciously focusing on the muscle you're trying to work during an exercise. Feeling it contract, feeling it stretch.
So not just moving the weight from A to B?
Right. It ensures the target muscle is actually doing the work, not momentum or other muscles jumping in to compensate. It makes each rep much more effective for growth and, bonus, can reduce injury risk. It's about quality over just quantity.
Okay. Then there's the whole world of supplements. What's his take? It feels like you can spend a fortune there.
You absolutely can. His take is refreshingly honest and measured. He calls them supplements as a supplement, meaning they help a good diet and training plan. They don't replace them.
So no magic powders.
Nope. He highlights a very small list of things with solid science behind them, like whey protein for convenience, creatine for strength and power, maybe a multivitamin. But he tells you straight up to save your money on most of the other stuff, the fancy blends with crazy claims. Stick to the basics that work.
That's good advice. And lastly, to tie it all together, he emphasizes tracking progress and goal setting.
Yes. These are crucial for knowing if you're actually moving forward. Tracking progress means logging your workouts, exercises, sets, reps, weight, logging your food calories, macros, maybe tracking body measurements or weight.
Why is that so important?
Because what gets measured gets managed. It gives you objective data. Are you getting stronger? Is your weight trending in the right direction? It lets you see what's working and make smart adjustments instead of just guessing.
Takes the guesswork out.
Totally. And goal setting provides the why. But not just vague goals like get in shape. He pushes for specific measurable goals like add 20 pounds to my bench press in 3 months or lose 10 pounds of fat. Having concrete targets keeps you focused and motivated.
It's really cool how he lays out the book, too. It's not random. Chapter 1 debunks myths, Chapter 2 is diet, 3 is training, 4 recovery, 5 supplements. It builds, right?
Exactly. It's structured like a course, almost. He builds your knowledge step by step. You understand the foundation before you get to the specifics. Then he covers tracking in Chapter 6 and motivation, dealing with setbacks, in Chapter 7. It guides you through the whole process logically.
It really is a journey through the material. So we've covered the nuts and bolts, the practical stuff, but let's go a bit deeper. What are the bigger themes here, the philosophies driving this whole thing? It feels like more than just a workout plan.
Oh, absolutely. You're right. Beyond the how-to, the book is really about fitness education, about discipline, and ultimately about personal transformation.
Education meaning understanding the why.
Yes. Matthews doesn't just give you a plan. He insists you understand the science behind why it works. Calories, progressive overload, protein synthesis. Knowing the principles empowers you to make your own informed choices, not just blindly follow instructions.
And discipline.
Discipline is presented as the engine of change. It's not about hardcore intensity all the time, but about the consistent, daily, weekly application of those informed choices. That consistent effort is the discipline, and that's what leads to the physical transformation. You see this reflected in the book's structured educational style. It integrates the science with the practical steps so seamlessly.
And these ideas, they seem to grow throughout the book, don't they? It's not just, here are the rules, follow them forever.
Right. He starts with the core principles, but subtly encourages tailoring them over time. It reinforces that fitness isn't a fixed program you finish. It's a dynamic, lifelong thing. You learn, you adapt as your body changes, as your goals evolve.
So the message becomes broader.
Exactly. It becomes about taking control of your health through knowledge and consistent effort. That's a universal message, right? It applies anywhere, to anyone willing to put in the work. It's about building habits and understanding that lasts a lifetime.
How does this approach compare to other popular fitness books out there?
It's quite distinct. If you think about something like Tim Ferriss's The 4-Hour Body, which is fascinating, but often explores more, let's say, unconventional hacks and minimum effective dose ideas, Matthews is different.
More traditional.
In a way, yes, but grounded firmly in mainstream exercise science. His approach feels much more aligned with classic self-improvement books like Atomic Habits by James Clear. Both emphasize building solid systems, consistent action, small improvements adding up over time. It's less about finding loopholes and more about mastering the fundamentals reliably. He's teaching you to be the architect of your own fitness.
Okay, this is all great theory, but let's make it real for someone listening. How do you actually do this? What are the practical day-to-day strategies?
Okay, let's translate it. Workout-wise, those big three exercises, squat, deadlift, bench press, plus maybe overhead presses and rows, they become your foundation. You'll likely train 3 to 5 days a week, and progressive overload is your main focus in the gym.
So specifically,
It means maybe you're working in the 4-6 rep range for strength. If you hit 6 reps on bench press with 150 pounds this week, next week you either try for 7 reps or you bump the weight to, say, 155 pounds and aim for 4-6 reps again. You're always pushing slightly beyond what you did last time.
and nutrition.
You start by calculating your TDEE, setting your calorie target deficit for fat loss, surplus for muscle gain. Then, number one priority is hitting that protein goal, that 0.8 to 1 gram per pound. After that, you fill in carbs and fats. Practically, this often means things like planning meals, maybe prepping some food ahead of time, using a food scale or tracking app, at least initially, to get a handle on portions and macros.
Let's paint a picture. Someone's totally new, maybe feeling a bit lost. Walk us through their first month applying Matthew's advice.
Okay, month 1. First step, get a simple app or notebook to track workouts and food. Don't guess. Week 1. Focus purely on learning good form for the main compound lifts, squat, bench, maybe deadlift using lightweight. Go to the gym maybe 3 times. Simultaneously, figure out your protein target and start planning simple meals to hit it. Track everything.
Okay, foundation first.
Exactly. Week 2. Now you start applying progressive overload. If you squatted the bar for 8 reps perfectly last week, maybe try adding 10 pounds this week and aim for 6 to 8 reps. Focus on that mind-muscle connection. Really feel the muscles working. Keep tracking the food. Keep prioritizing sleep.
Simple steps repeated.
That's the essence. By week 3 and 4, you're reinforcing those habits. You're seeing the numbers in your logbook slowly creep up. You're getting more consistent with hitting your protein. Matthews provides tools like workout log templates and emphasizes self-assessment. You look at your logs, see what's working, adjust if needed. He uses success stories in the book, too, to show you it's possible and relatable. It's about breaking it down into manageable actions that compound over time.
It sounds incredibly empowering, actually. Taking control through simple, consistent actions. So wrapping up, what are the biggest takeaways here? If someone remembers only 1 or 2 things.
I think the biggest one is that getting fit, strong, and lean doesn't need to be ridiculously complicated or require extreme measures. Matthews offers a clear, science-backed path that cuts through the confusion.
Simplicity and evidence.
Exactly. And the second big takeaway is that you can do it. Anyone can achieve their goals if they apply these fundamental principles with dedication and consistency. It really shifts your mindset.
How so? What kind of shifts?
It fosters discipline, definitely,
Yeah.
but also patience. You learn that results take time. It builds resilience because you learn to handle setbacks.
Yeah.
And it moves you away from chasing quick fixes towards building sustainable, healthy habits for the long haul. Understanding the why is incredibly empowering.
So who is this book ultimately for? And what's the real growth potential here, beyond just changing your body?
Well, it's technically targeted at men, but honestly, the principles apply broadly. It's for anyone frustrated with fitness confusion and looking for a clear, no-nonsense, effective roadmap. It's for the person who wants to understand fitness, not just follow a random plan. The growth potential, it's huge. You learn self-discipline, scientific thinking applied to yourself, patience, goal setting, consistency, skills that translate to every area of life, way beyond the gym. But, while Matthews gives such a solid, structured foundation, it does leave us with a really interesting question to think about. For you listening, how do you take these powerful evidence-based principles, the structure program, and balance it with your own life? With the need for personalization as your goals change, maybe moving beyond just aesthetics as your life evolves. How do you make these principles truly yours for the long haul, adapting them so they serve you for a lifetime, not just for a few months or years?
That's a great question to ponder as you continue your own journey. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into Bigger, Leaner, Stronger. We hope it's giving you some clarity and actionable insights.